certain what that something was. So he was afraid. And yes, he kept his eyes down. And he walked into a place following the white student where they went, and only looking up to make sure he could see some of the room numbers. And finally getting to his classroom, he walked in, he greeted his teacher properly. The teacher pointed to where he should sit, in the back. And he wondered if this would be every day. And for that boy, it was every day for 4 years. Quiet, silent, afraid. 4 years. Sometimes people spoke to him and they said, well, why don't you come with us to the Wildcat Den? And he would say, I have to go work for my dad. But inside, what he knew was, go to the Wildcat Den? Go to the Wildcat Den? He knew there was nothing preventing him from going. There was no colored only or white only there, but he knew he would not be welcomed. And when you are not welcomed, you feel it. You know it. And most of us don't walk towards it. Others in the school, other African American students did join things. They joined the student council. They joined the National Honor Society. They joined sports. Well, they practiced sports. The Oak Ridge High School boys and girls team going to districts this year is phenomenal, but I am certain that is a mixed team, a diverse team of students. Whereas it was not possible for those students today, back in that time, to play on the same courts when other schools didn't want you to do that. Sometimes they would be ready to go to a game and get a phone call and say, they don't want you to be in the building. You can't come. How did that feel? And others felt that unwelcome. And they left after a couple of months. That is what it was. But they did finish the year together. Blacks and whites, and there was a graduate from that particular time, that year. Knowing what was good and right and beneficial and would build and enhance goodwill and better friendships. People called his phone, and his daughter, Pat being one of them, his daughters and his wife would get ugly phone calls, threatening phone calls, and a cross on their front yard. But he continued to do what was best because he knew it was to build better goodwill, better friendships, and goodwill. Time went on. Those students understood, those African American students understood at the end of the year that they had been tolerated, not accepted. They learned that when they went to the junior senior prom. And 4 couples went in, and any table they sat at, the white students rose and walked away. But there was no violence, just great harm. Violence in Little Rock happened, and there was violence, and Oak Ridge could proudly say, we did this with no violence. See what we've done. Oh, we're not like the others. And so the memory of those who had felt the depth of harm inside them, that memory was lost. And in the words of one of the Scarboro 85, she said, and we died. In their eyes, we died. Until one day, many, many moons later, At a meeting, someone said that Clinton 12 was the first to desegregate in the Southeast, and a man named L.C. Gibson stood up and said, "That's not true. We were the first." And people began to search and share. Pat Brooksma, Rose Weaver, John Spratling, wanting to recognize these wonderful people, brought me in to take all their information that they'd worked really hard on and create a story that hopefully would hit people's hearts, would tell them a truth. The question might be, let me get to what the question might be. Okay. The question might be, well, Sheila, is this beneficial for all of us here? Is this story beneficial for us? What good is this story outside in this community? It is a good story to know. One, we can learn. We can learn from those who have walked through the struggle of trying something new. And we can honor them. And when we bring truth to light, then we have the opportunity for true reconciliation. Second, we can learn. We can learn to not bring harm to people through what we say and how we treat people, how we turn our eyes, how we don't see, how we don't listen. That brings harm, and we don't have to be that way. We can learn that. We can recognize the truth of where our city has been and where the city is going. There is a desire to have a Scarboro 85 memorial to be placed near the Peace Bell. Would it not be an amazing thing to have Oak Ridge, Tennessee known for peace and reconciliation? It is what your theme is this month. Conflict resolution, peace. Should that not be every day, not a month? And so I ask that you hear this story, learn more about this story, that you visit Scarboro community. It was a thriving community for the people that lived there, and they're still there, but often still invisible. Go and visit. Go to the Scarboro Community Center and walk along the wall there, which is the wall of basically honor for those who are African American that have done amazing things. It's a wonderful space. Those who went there this year were amazed. And contribute. You're Rotarians. You're business people. I know. My daddy is one. So I know that some of you all have folks that you can pull on a little bit. Thankful to Pinnacle Bank for me to be able to tell this story. Thankful for Rotarians in general letting this story get out. But let us build a memorial. I am an ambassador for this community in that. Scarboro85monument.com. You can do it while you're here. It's fine. But do it with a heart that we want to see this community have a place of reconciliation. Why not the Rotary Club that leads in creating goodwill, that leads in making bridges? Why not you all make this story have an ending that will be an ending of continued reconciliation and honesty? You will set the pace for Tennessee. I leave you with this last joy. Just last week, the Tennessee State Education approved that the Scarboro 85 would be taught in the 5th grade curriculum all throughout Tennessee. I have watched as those who have become my friends who are still living, and there are not many still living. And that's why I'd like to get the Scarboro 85 thing done. I'd like somebody to be alive while they get through this. But I have watched as they have felt a healing in their soul. A healing. And as she said to me, we had just died. But now, we're alive. They remember. We did good. Thank you so much for letting me come and talk to you.